Are you struggling with finding that perfectly right color for your room or any space that you're actually designing or renovating? You can't choose if you should use dark colors or light colors, neutral colors or very vibrant and contrasting colors. If you don't want to use too many colors, or sometimes you do want to use too many colors, but you just can't decide what and how you should even start and what you should do, well, I'm going to help you because I'm going to be sharing with you one of the amazing rules that's really going to help you and put you at ease. This rule is known as the 60-30-10 rule. Now, of course, it's a rule, it's completely your choice if you want to follow it or if you want to break it. But I'm still going to explain to you this rule because it's really going to make it much easy for you to decide what color to use and how much of each color to use for your space so that you get the most beautiful room ever. So stay tuned till the end of the video till I share with you the 60-30-10 rule to help you choose the perfect colors for your space. Now, of course, hi guys, I'm Tanvi Sixteria, the founder and CEO of Little Miss Designer. If you're here to find out about the tips, tricks and hacks and anything to do with interior design, then you're at the right place. So let's jump right into the topic. So as I was talking about the 60-30-10 rule, now this is a rule that's really going to make your life much easier when you're actually deciding the colors for your space. Now what I mean by the 60-30-10 rule is basically these are percentages. It's a ratio that's going to help you understand the right proportion to choose the colors for your space. So let's say if I take 100%, from that 60% of that is going to be your dominant color, whereas 30% is going to be your secondary color and the 10% is going to be your accent color. So when you break it down, the proportionate ratio would be 60-30-10, where the 60% of the dominant color would basically be the very prominent color, the color which is most visually available and seen in your entire space. This usually refers to, let's say, the walls of the room, a bit of the flooring and the main furniture which is visually very appealing. So making sure that the walls which are going to be most usually seen by your eye, that is usually considered into the 60% dominant color of your space. Now naturally you're not going to have this to be very dark or very bold, because if you do, you might like it for a day or maximum a week, but eventually it's going to really start hurting your eye and you're not going to like it, or you'll get really bored of it and you're going to want to change it. So the best way is to actually be smart from the beginning and think of a color that's not going to hurt your eye too easily and you're not going to get bored of it. Choose a color that's actually going to work and you're going to love for the long run, because this is going to be one of the main colors you're using for the entire room. Now that you've understood what is the 60%, you must be wondering, but which color should you use, right? Well, it's really simple. It's obvious that you should be using one of the most neutral colors for the entire 60% part of the room. Now some of these colors which you could use are your light grays, your light beiges, your off-whites, your whites, and if you want to add a bit of that color tinge to it, you can even consider your pastels, like let's say a light peach or a light lemon color. So this is something that would really look beautiful in your space and at the same time not overpowering.
Wow.
You could use this on most of your main walls or even on some of the main furniture pieces, ensuring that it looks beautiful. So out of the 100%, now you've got familiar with how you should use the 60% with the prominent color. Let's understand the balance, 30% and 10%. So 30% is for the secondary color. Now the 30% in the ratio is something that is used not too much, not too little. It's just 30% of the visual space of your room. Let's say you have taken an off-white color for the entire 60% of the room. The balance 30% could be something with a slightly medium shade of grey, so it really looks well with the white. Now you can use this into your flooring, or you can even use this on the other loose furniture that's lying around in your space. So the 30% is something that you can use more for like making sure that it balances, but it still stands out a bit more than the 60% neutral color that you've used. So this would be a color that is not too bold and not too neutral. It's something in between. So a perfect color option for this would be a mid grey or a mid beige, or even something that could have a little bit of pop of color, but it shouldn't hurt your eye. So just keep that in mind when you're selecting the 30% of the color. Now coming to the last part, the 10%. Now, just before I explain you the 10%, I want to be telling you that at the end of this video, I'm going to be sharing you a little small tip that's going to help you to understand how the entire space is going to look and if you're going to like it or not. So it's going to be a little saving hack where you're not going to spend too much and you're going to understand before you even renovate it if you're going to like this space or not. So stay tuned till the end of the video. So coming to the 10% of the color ratio, this is known as the accent color. Now this color is used very little. It's barely seen. It's just those small hints of a little pop color that you see, which really helps to liven up that space. Imagine having a really nice vibrant pop color, like let's say a beautiful blue or an orange or a yellow. Now before you get scared, just remember we're going to be using so little of this color that it's barely even going to hurt your eye. So stop getting scared of using colors. Now a good example with this would be a pop color like I mentioned, the blues. Or if you want a little luxurious look, you can even go with colors like your gold. Having a bit of those gold elements in, let's say, your artifacts or your planters, or like let's say a photo frame, any small item which is displayed as per the artifacts and upholstery, a bit of it would look beautiful as the 10% ratio to be added with the balance of the 60 and 30% that we spoke about earlier. Now of course when you're choosing the 10% accent color, you could choose just one singular color, or if you want to be a little creative, you can do a mix of 2-3 colors. So for example, if let's say the 60% was my off-white color, the 30% was the grey we spoke about, and the 10% was your blue, and I can also add elements of gold. So having a color combination with blue, grey, off-white and gold is perfect for the room because I'm technically using 4 colors, but I'm still following the rule of the 60, 30, 10% because the 60% is the prominent color, the 30% is the secondary color, and the 10% is the accent color. Having the perfect balance and the perfect ratio of these colors is what's going to work really well for your space. Whatever color you choose, may it be a green or any favorite color that you like, you should follow these rules. Unless of course you want to break it, that's completely on you. But I highly recommend to at least start with working with these ratios. In case you're really lost, it would really be helpful. Now that you've understood exactly how to use the colors in the right proportion, you must be still a little confused about how to start. Well, I have just the perfect tip for you. Now what happens is that when you have a room, you sometimes don't know where to start, right? It's really hard to visualize that will this look good with this or will that look good with that? Well, there's a simple solution. Why not let use technology help us? I'm sure you're familiar with the 3D visuals. Now what if I tell you that you can actually make the 3D visual of your entire room or your entire space that you're renovating before you even started executing it? Now this is going to be really helpful because let's say if you like the color like we mentioned, the blue, grey, gold and the entire color combination with the off-white, before it's even done, why don't you make a mock 3D visual using the software where you can actually show which wall is going to have white, which wall is going to have that grey and blue, and where you're going to be having those accents of gold. Being able to see the space before it's executed is going to give you so much more clarity. And this is so simple to do. I'm sure you're not familiar with it, but there are a couple of softwares like your 3D Max and your Google SketchUp. And in case you can't do it, you can literally just hire somebody to do it. It does. In case if you're worried if this charges you, trust me, you're going to save money by doing this because if you don't like a singular color into the entire room, literally all you have to do is change the color in the view. But imagine if you don't like it in the room that's already been painted, you're going to have to repaint the entire thing, and that's such a bad idea because you're going to be spending so much, and not only just the money, you're also going to be wasting a lot of time. So be smart about it. Think about the colors that you want to use and use the software, use the technology to actually visualize the space before you actually put in the colors into the room. I really hope this was helpful. If you need a little more help, then I have a whole different video that's going to explain to you even colors like your neutral colors, your contrast colors, a bit about the color wheel too, and so much more. So in case you want to know more about the colors of your room, then I'm going to be leaving a link below with the video that's really going to help you understand how to even start with choosing what's your favorite color. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you found this helpful. And don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and of course hit that notification bell. Thank you.